Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Right side, Simmons. To the inside. Here's Zubats, and the dunk by Zubats.
Well, he sends it inside where they can get a high percentage look. That's just great basketball.
Clark inside. And he makes that one.
I mean, he makes plays like that in his sleep. The game is just far too easy.
That shot is off. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Timberwolves.
Well, the thing about hitting early threes, it spaces the floor and makes things a lot easier offensively.
And I like the fact also that they're the ones that have forced the action. They've created a lot of offense by just attacking the rim.
So with Harden on the bench, here's who Tyronn Lue's going with. Jones and Zubats make up the 4 and the 5. Bogdanovich out there with Ben Simmons, and it's Coffey in at the small forward. Bogdanovich wide open. Offensive rebound, and the dunk by Zubats.
That's why you never quit battling on the offensive glass.
And that's a nice reward for his effort. The flush, perfect.
Well, that's what he does. He makes an impact with his activity on the boards.
Here's Reed, and he's good on the 3-ball. Reeves got the lead up to 9 now for the Timberwolves.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
And that's out of bounds. It was last touched by McDaniel. And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. You got for us, D.A.?
Kevin, thank you very much. The Timberwolves have become a rough and rugged team. Swingman Jaden McDaniel said, "We don't let nobody push us around. We're always being physical defensively. I feel like we're a tough team, super tough." And Kevin, they certainly have the size to hold their own.
Always being physical. But David, that's their identity. And we thank you for the report.
Well, Reed has only become more confident as time has gone on at the arc. He will not hesitate.
To the paint, Zubats. That's in, coming off an assist from Dunn. And 12 points for Ivica Zubats.
Well, he's playing great tonight, but not quite well enough to carry the entire team. They need to find some other contributors.
Miller's checked in for Minnesota. Leonard, he's checked in for the Clippers. Minnesota leading by 10. Miller, no up.
I'm not sure if anyone on the team has the green light from there. Definitely not him.
Well, that's the shot where if you make it, everything's fine. But if not, you're going to hear about it.
Oh, up high and down hard with that one-hander.
He got a little extra forceful. You're right with that one. Here's Reed. It's hauled in by the Clippers. Zubats has got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Leonard. Miller grabs the miss.
I'm sure he'd like to have that back. That's a missed opportunity.
Here's Alexander Walker, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Alexander Walker's got 5.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Nobody near Leonard. Wide open shot is on the money.
Totally dialed in. Leonard makes quick work from that mid-range.
Miller with the ball. Zubats defending. Count it. Good. And the Timberwolves lead by 10. And so it's Leonard with it. He'll bring it up for Los Angeles. Last time they came together was in Minnesota, where they felled the Wolves.
Yeah, you know they wanted a few of those plays back. What a tough way to go out in that one.
Yeah, it's often a game of very slim margins, and those close losses somehow sting even more.
Sinks the triple. Miller's got his 2nd bucket of the game to go.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
Clippers trail by 13. And Tyronn Lue calls timeout. He wants to talk to his guys. They stand the last few decades. We've seen the three become more and more necessary for offenses. Wondering if you think that's a good thing.
Well, it is, and teams not only understand the value of making a lot of three-point shots, but the threat of the three spreads out defenses.
And it's a great finish!
Oh, my.
And this is how a floor leader makes a statement. Harden just put the other team on notice.
And that's life above the rim, courtesy of our AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Outside Edwards. What a shot by Edwards.
And sometimes Edwards makes defenses feel helpless. Tough shot there.
To the middle. Here's Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
And that's a special play coming from the one spot.
You know, his passing can take a backseat for that dunk. Wow.
Wow, that is an impressive vertical for a point guard. My goodness.
You know, they like Randall to be an offensive presence in the paint. They want him to be an option on every possession.
Puts it up from 12. Here's Leonard. Kawhi puts it down hard.
Just a terrific effort on the offensive glass. That's how they're going to cut into this league.
And Greg, a dunk like that is sure to give them a spark. Simmons against Gobert. And he lays it straight in. Gobert's got 8 points.
Well, the strength of Gobert allows him to finish through contact better than most guys.
You know, Coach, what more can you ask? The reigning 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert.
Well, Kevin, since you asked, his impact in the playoffs hasn't always been the same as during the regular season. That's got to be the next step.
And Jones pulls it down. Looking at Minnesota, they took the win in their last game against the 76ers in Philadelphia. And that one's good. Leonard.
This is how dominant Leonard can be. And once he finds his comfort zone, he keeps his foot on the gas.
Here's Conley. The teardrop falls in. He has 5.
Yeah, it took just enough off of it for the floater.
And here's Leonard from 3. Shot number 12 goes in. He's made 7 of 12 now.
Well, he's already got 9 points from three-point range. They need to pay attention to him wherever he is.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Gobert. Plays it up off the glass. And the Timberwolves lead by 10.
Yeah, inside, Gobert can be a true monster, using his size and reach very effectively.
Leonard, no luck. Edwards inside, defended by Jones. The muscle from Edwards.
Love that they're continuing to attack despite being up big.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless, building this lead in every way possible.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. And we've got more M2K Sports coming your way after this break.
If they think they'll win with this kind of defense, they're tripping. When you give up that many good shots, it fuels your opponent's fire.
You're like gasoline on a flame, I'd say. And now, as the season winds, and that's all for us. Now it's time to send it back.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
Yeah, I'd love to see what they drew up in the locker room, because you're right. He's the problem right now.
Conley and Edwards are the guards. Randall out there with Gobert, and it's McDaniels in at the 3 spot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Timberwolves on defense. Here's Leonard.
That's a great stop. McDaniel's length, quickness, and body control make him a lockdown defender.
Here's Conley. Missed inside.
That's not a bad shot at all. It just didn't go in. Sometimes the process is right, and you still get a bad result.
And that's a little lack of fight at the defensive end.
Absolutely. At least on that slam, you're right. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
Yeah, but also credit the offense there. That's making a play when you really need it, and they need more of it.
Basket good.
Well, Randall is such a steady shooter. Interior defense just isn't enough to stop that shot.
Harden kicks to Leonard. And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. And the dunk by Zubac.
A power flush with a long hang on the rim at the end of that.
That could be a catalyst for him. It really could. And so Chris Finch calls for the timeout. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. Timberwolves leading by 10. Gobert down low, working on Zubac. Gobert down low. Zubac defending. Nice shot by Gobert.
Well, that's where Gobert wants to get his points, right there in the paint.
And the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Kevin, Rudy Gobert has tied for the most Defensive Player of the Year awards all time, but he's challenging himself to do more offensively. He said it's all about just being okay with missing or making mistakes, freeing my mind and doing the things that I work on to get out of this shell that I was being put in. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David Aldridge, we thank you for that report. Clippers trail by 10. Powell with it. Conley picks him up. Powell dishes to Dunn. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. From deep three-point land. And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession. Let's take a look at the teams that have done a great job of converting turnovers into points since the All-Star break. Fifth, the Timberwolves.
Their defense has taken on a new life since the break. I mean, they're getting into teams, forcing turnovers, and they look like a different group.
Outside Leonard, jacks up a three. The putback, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
Timberwolves leading by 8. Randall left side. Pick up 2. Randall's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And the defense cannot underestimate Randall's strength. Pushes right through the contact and gets the shot.
And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. The Clippers have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line.
And they've done some really nice work at the foul line, knocking down 80%.
And so he hits the technical free throw.
And what's remarkable is how complete Harden's game is. Making shots or making passes, he can create points in a number of ways.
And landing zone fouls have been a part of the rule book for some time now, Coach. It's changed how shooters shoot.
No question, Kevin, and it's a good thing, I think. The NBA needs to protect the shooters. They're doing that. None of us wants injuries that could be prevented. We don't want to see the great shooters just come down and land on somebody's foot and miss 6 to 8 weeks.
A shot by McDaniels, no good. Clippers trail by 7. Pass to Dunn. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. Here's Zubac. He's defended by Randall. Zubac, that's good.
And Harden is more than just a scorer. He's also got some sensational handles and passing instincts. Loves connecting with his teammates.
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Clark, he's checked in for McDaniel. Alexander Walker comes in for Edwards. And it's Dante DiVincenzo in for Mike Conley. Derek Jones, he's checked in for Los Angeles.
Well, those go down for him in his sleep.
Here's Harden. And it's a great finish!
Oh, my gosh.
And on any given play, the beard can take your breath away. He's just got that flair for the spectacular.
Clark for three. And another three for Minnesota.
Three-pointers are killing them at this point, and they haven't been able to respond at the other end.
Outside Leonard. Back to Harden. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Timberwolves.